got to be laid by their paces. It's important that they get off to a great start here. Shaheen, Afridi and Co. Thanks very much for your time. Right, time to go upstairs and join David Gower and Amir Sahar.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. And this becomes a very, very key part of this game. Pakistan restricted to 201. And if you're a side in trouble with the bat, you then need your bowlers to get you out of that trouble. And Shaheen Afridi will open the bowling is one of those potential people. For the batting side for Afghanistan, Rahmanullah Gurbaz is one of those exciting players who can change a game in an instant. And Ibrahim Zadran as well is another run maker at the top of the order. And a good opening partnership would take Afghanistan a long way to their first ever victory against Pakistan in a full ODI. But, as I say, the likes of Shaheen Afridi, they are the sort of people, they're the sort of players who will make a difference. He has an outstanding record in the ball, and specialities is making those early breakthroughs, so this is what we call a classic contest.
It has become one. One thing for Pakistan bowlers, don't have to bowl out of desperation.
Well, first ball of the reply is full and swinging in. As equal to it. That's his strength, isn't it? Shaheen Shah. He bowls a decent pace, of course, but he gets full, straight and swinging, and therefore you have to be on your mettle at the top of the innings against him.
The field is well appointed for those in-swinging deliveries from Shaheen Afridi. There's one at catching, shot mid-wicket.
Yeah, Gurbaz just kept his left leg inside the line, inside the swing. But I tell you what, the one thing if I were coaching Afghanistan at this stage, so find your way through these opening 10 overs. Because then you pressure entirely on Pakistan and their bowlers. Take what opportunities there are. The asking rate is only just over 4 runs per over. Wide. Not quite given wide, just within the wide line to be guided.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that Gurbaz is looking to stay inside the line of the delivery. Hey, he tried to bowl the outswinger to the right-hander, but erred in line. Pushed it way outside the off stump, but the thinking was good.
Yeah, that's the length that sometimes finds a way through. If he gets the ball to swing as well, that can be very, very dangerous, which is why this is, if you look at Gurbaz's technique, okay, that's ending up just outside off stump, but that left leg is not going a long way across, because one of the big mistakes that opening batsmen make against Shaheen Afridi is to get the leg in the way. They end up playing around that front leg, they miss the ball, LBW, job done. So there's a clear effort from Gurbaz to make sure that doesn't happen. Opens up other possibilities. Again, the left leg gets out of the way quickly. First run of the innings is tucked away down behind square on the leg side.
Yeah, you spoke about the opportunities opening up for the bowler when you're looking to stay inside the line of the delivery. You've got to be absolutely sure hitting the ball through covers. You need to get to the pitch of the ball. Otherwise, you're an endangered species.
Or you need to watch the ball incredibly well. Yeah, I like the allusion to national parks in first. You won't know this. My second autobiography, if I'm allowed to say this, was called Endangered Species. One without loss. A decent start. Actually, decent start in both senses. Tight over from Shaheen Afridi. Nothing given away by Afghanistan. The worst thing that could have happened, of course, was the same thing that happened in Pakistan's first over, a wicket. So that's what Afghanistan need to do, is just to find their way through these opening 10 overs.
Rapper from the house of Hindustan. जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों सा खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
Places that scene very, very carefully. About opening partnerships, the value of a good opening partnership. In the memory banks for this pair, this opening pair of batsmen for Afghanistan, was the fact they put on 256 the first wicket against Bangladesh in July this year. Not surprisingly, Afghanistan's highest partnership for any wicket actually in ODIs. They don't need that many today. They do need a good start.
We spoke about batting partnerships. Let's talk about the bowling partnerships. These two bowlers, they pair off quite nicely for Pakistan, and especially Shaheen Afridi, who has the knack of picking up wickets in his first over. And here, what is the requirement from these two bowlers? Is to bowl tight. Just keep on bowling tight, and they'll be rewarded. They're bowling on that kind of a pitch where batsman is never in.
That's carried through very well indeed. One kept low, one has carried through.
There was a good delivery, good scene presentation from Naseem Shah. And that's where he's proved upon. He has really worked hard to use the seam, especially with the new ball. You're talking about your biography. What impelled you to title that endangered species?
I will tell you happily, and this, I'm not contravening any rules and regulations. I'm sure it's out of print and only available in second-hand bookshops in remote parts of the UK. But it was because two things. One is, as a player, I felt I was a bit of a, shall we say, an endangered species. Too many risks, but a few runs thrown into the bargain. And secondly, just the love of wildlife. Early upbringing in Africa, a lot of experience in the wildlife parts of Africa, in India. And here we are, of course, in a national park in Sri Lanka as well. So I thought it tied in very, very nicely. There you are. I enjoyed writing it too.
Came very close. Naseem Shah to pick up a wicket here. Had the batsman fetching.
Yeah, there's movement, that's the key. I mean, this is the great thing about the new ball, isn't it? In the right hands, you get the movement. If you create any sort of uncertainty, and we saw, for instance, going back to the first over of the game today, Pakvsafg playing at a wide one, which he nicked, ends up caught at slip. This is a play and a miss, so, of course, ends up safe. But there's those nervous few overs, nervous early overs, where you either say, I don't need to play at that, or you have to make a better effort to get bat on ball. Straight at this time, no run, 2 overs done, just a slow start at 2 for none.
With your attitude, Darren Sun might ask for Ali.
Responsibility, then you say everyone has to take responsibility. Don't leave it for the next man in to do your job for you. Just do everything you can to help the team along. And Afghanistan will be absolutely delighted if they get the 2 or 3 good partnerships early on that break the back of the task. equally so, Pakistan, well, Shaheen Afridi will know that those deliveries, okay, it might not cost you a run, but it's wasted because actually his speciality, as you said, Amir, is picking up early wickets. So often it's the in-swinging Yorker that can do the damage. If you know, if as a batsman you know that's coming, then the one angled across can also be potentially dangerous. You've got the keeper in the slip ready for any thin edge.
Yeah, to further the point you just made, the reason why I said that, the Pakistani bowlers need to be tight, and they cannot afford to bowl out of frustration. At the moment, they are over trying things. Just keep it simple. Find the right line of length.
Yeah, just to amplify the point, Shaheen Afridi's wickets in power plays alone. The one short one is the exception, good length, but especially full length, I would suggest. I mean, it's the ones that are pitching on and straightening that have been the most dangerous. But then if you angle it across and a batsman is waiting for that, that one swung in just a little bit, but would have gone down past the leg stump. There's that potential combination as a batsman. You've got to be so alert at the start of the innings. But as I say so often, it's one thing to know what might be coming. Is that graphic yet again just to show it all happens. Looks a little bit of a spread, but actually I'll tell you, I would suggest that you've got enough straight. And those ones that are just outside the off stump are the ones that batsmen have felt at because they were looking for the one to straighten. So once you have that ability, that's what a batsman really has to be alert to try and counter.
It's a good word to use. Batsmen need to be alert. But most of the times what happens when Shaheen Afridi is bowler, they are alarmed.
Oh, that's up. That's going to be the simplest of chances. The short ball cramped him for room. Ibrahim completely miscuing. And so it wasn't a wicket in the first over, but it's a wicket in Shaheen Afridi's second over, the third over of the innings, and that's an interesting start for Pakistan to fight back so quickly.
Needed early wickets, and it's the man, Shaheen Afridi, caught the batsman unaware. He kept on pushing the ball up to the batsman, and this time around surprised the batter with a short pitch delivery, and it has worked.
Well, you've got to be looking for the in-swinger, the one that gets slanted away, and the short ball. You're not onto it quickly. That's exactly what happens. Ibrahim's a drawn out for a duck. It's 3 for 1.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
Afghanistan 3 for 1. 2.4 overs bowled. Pakistan strike early. Number 3 is Rashid Shah, who bowled a couple of overs at the end and picked up a wicket. Part-time leg spin worked for him at the end of Pakistan's innings. But now this is what he is paid to do, is to bat at number 3. 30 years old, an average of best part of 37 in ODI, the best of 114. Time for cool heads, good techniques, bit of patience, bit of resistance. Time to try and resist Shaheen Afridi. Oh, that's how not to do it. The full toss, the low full toss, finds the bat, and the bat finds mid-wicket. So it's 2 in 2 for Shaheen Afridi. It's the end of the night for Rahmat Shah. First ball ducked for him, and disconsolate looks in the Afghanistan camp.
How many times we have seen a bowler picking up a wicket with a full toss? Who says it's a bad delivery? Can be a wicket-taking delivery. Yes, that ball swung at the last moment for Shaheen Afridi. That's why Rahmat, one of Afghanistan's technically well-equipped player, wasn't able to control the stroke. Hit the ball area and he had to pay the price. He loved.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
Well, dramatic events right at the start of this Afghanistan reply. Is it time for a captain's knock? Asfatullah Shahidi at number 4 is on a hat-trick, is facing a hat-trick ball from Shaheen Afridi. So one short and lofted in the air, nice simple catch. The other one full, hit reasonably well, but unfortunately straight at Afgvspak again. So 2 in 2 for Afghanistan, 2 catches, 2 in 2, 2 wickets for Shaheen Afridi, 2 in 2 for Pakistan. So this man is now on a hat-trick. 2 slips, 3 slips, a first, a second, a fourth slip. Man just behind square on the offside, a deep short leg is in as well. Another wicket now, the cat will be amongst the pigeons will all be gone. Ball and just outside off stump, defended, so a moment of relief, but Afghanistan up against it now at 3 for 2 after 3.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
Pushed away. First of all, it was the short ball that had Ibrahim in all sorts of trouble. Hits him right up on the splice. He's late on the shot, even on this slow pitch. Thank you very much. The starman comes in to take the catch. Then a swinging low full toss, tucked away. And as a batsman, you'll know that, I suppose, if it's your day, it goes a yard and a half wide of the fielder, and it's your first runs. This just picks out Afghanistan absolutely perfect.
That was a perfect field placing for in-swinging deliveries. Yeah, not in the first over. In the second over, managed to pick up a couple of wickets. Shaheen Shah.
Well, it's only, 5 minutes ago I was talking about trying to survive the first 10 overs, to build an open partnership, to start the construction of a bit of a platform to tackle this target. Those plans are in shreds at the moment, but what we saw early in the day was Pakistan having to rebuild after 2 early wickets of their own. So at the moment, you could say things are potentially reasonably even, but you've got a Pakistan side with a very good bowling attack, which should know how to keep the pressure applied to make life really tough for Afghanistan. So someone for Afghanistan has to do something quite special.
At the moment, they need to absorb the pressure created by the Pakistani bowlers.
Straight to him, Amul Haq at point. But at least Nasim Shah here gives the ball a chance. That full length. There are 2 chances. One is it's got enough time in the air to maybe swing a little bit. If it is dead straight, if it's the absolute perfect York, it's got a potential way of finding its way through. Oh, what an effort that is! Shadab at square leg. The short ball looked just for a moment to have cleared him. And he got enough of a hand on it just to palm it up in the air. He had enough skill and awareness to catch the rebound. That is a brilliant catch.
This is the advantage Pakistan has. Pace bowler on a sluggish pitch. They are rushing the batsman. That ball zipped through, and what a take. What a take from shadab. The Pakistani team ecstatic. They needed a start like this with the ball.
So very, very athletic. And yet another disappointment for Afghanistan at the top of the order as the captain leaves the field disconsolate with none to his name, and the scoreline ominous at 4-3.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल कतर का एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
Well, in the space of just a couple of overs, in the space of 10 minutes or so, this task for Afghanistan has got much, much tougher. Next in the firing line, Ikram Al-Akil. And what is he going to be able to do about it? So making a comeback, will it be a dramatic one, will it be a short one? What does fate have in store for him? 3 balls left in the over, just the 4th over of this reply. He's found a way through. Runs for Afghanistan, runs for Ikram. And 4 of them as well.
Oh, what a shot. Facing first delivery. Yes, it was over-pitched, but he was ready for it. He was confident enough to hit the ball into the gap. Start.
Well, even under these circumstances, a wide full toss. Rather more welcome than some of the alternatives. Another time to see that. Well, as we thought it was safe to go out overnight, that's never such a close thing. Didn't really get very much. How do you get them to
from the house of Afghanistan. जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश कर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला 100 में मिल जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का जीरो प्लस आइकॉन pakvsafg जीरा प्लस।
Wondering what might have been happening here. We started this supply in Afghanistan very briefly agreed chasing down this total. There was no one short. We got to this because of that possessing us
Those heavy blows that did not shot now. Take the batsman who are putting themselves on the front foot. They became very hard on some of them. Some of the balls taken.
That's the one in course that doesn't swing back in. Angled across. First time he's actually bowled one of those close enough to the stumps to draw some sort of shot, and it's Babar who's lucky here. Takes the bat away at the last moment, but he was starting to commit himself to playing out now.
Yeah, angling the bat at the last moment saved Gurpaz. And he needs to be very careful there. He's trying to up at the moment.
Yeah, the thing is, isn't it? You're searching really with its one's attitude changes. Desperation. Once you've got through the bag like this, then both he and Nassim Shah settle into normality. So targeting the stumps, keeping the ball full. For the most part, the offshore one, of course, we've already seen has worked in terms of taking wickets. The advantage is so much so now for Pakistan. Tricky, isn't it?
It's one thing bowling the bounces, but using them to lower at one pitch, that's where the Pakistani bowlers well-directed bouncer, AC ones, and they have gained a couple of wickets.
No run even attempted sensibly. Hit the 3 after 5.
Darren Sun,
From the house of Afghanistan, जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस जीरे का जायका और pakvsafg जीरा प्लस।
Resources already in the now it's only the 13th time. 4,625 ODIs. Three of the first 4 batsmen have been dismissed for dunce. 13 times 4,625 ODIs. Not a good omen for Pakistan. Pakistan themselves been on the receiving end 6 times. It's the first time we've actually inflicted injury on them. I wouldn't too. We have people to do this sort of stuff. We have experts in the field to provide these tidbits of information. I remember them all.
Their job to do for these three batters. Need to forge a partnership there. It's good to see Gurbaaz fighting by his side. He's always contemporary style of batting, but here is looking to occupy the crease. He's working hard against his nature. He's survived for 17 deliveries.
Goes down. Even now, under this pressure, I think the first thing Afghanistan needs to do is just hang in there for a while. So the ones will help, the ones and twos. Let's keep things ticking. Because obviously, singly the worst thing that happened now is the going down the muscle. Build a partnership. It's the first time in this innings that they can build something of a partnership.
dampen the release of pressure at the moment.
Well, one of the strengths we know about Pakistan is that it's very good opening attack. They spin as well, good spin. They saw how much spin kept Afghanistan in control of Pakistan's in. So those options not going to be easy to come by. The demand for attack is not going to be easy to find. There's a truism, isn't it? You cannot attack the ball against Chris. First thing good stop from Rizwan, and way down to the sun.
Good thing about the pass is efficient, like the spinners as well. That was a good take for Pakistan with the paper. Right, full length. Pakistan over the shoulder, not so good with the back.
Short of landing straight. 6 overs in is the fly. Afghanistan now 10 for 3.
Head and shoulders जब तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए हेड एंड शोल्डर्स का ऐसे बहुत हटा दे
Bouncer. Expected line. It's going fine. 4. Comment box on the link. It means iconic voice from Pakistan. That is better.
He will try that length because he's already been able to create an impact with that shorter length. He's pretty tall, so he gets a good jump. And Rizwan is, what, 5'5". That short ball can be difficult to handle on a slow pitch. Never in.
Shot again.
Raz has had it again, so for the over, it's good aggressive ball. He doesn't like it. Smile as always. Forcing the umpire to maybe have another look. The 2 bouncers, what next now? He's got a slip in place, an outswinger, a yorker, he's got plenty of options. I think he's waiting for it. Nice try into that drive for bars. Have a great time at Lanka Premier League, so here's his chance. Already the balance was on the front foot. He was expecting it to be a fuller length, 2 bounces. And then stylishly driven, but couldn't find the gap.
Pakistan batting first. In response, expectation of how Afghans respond against the fast bowling. Expectation. Mohammad that bowled well today. Pakistan batters for batting has become good today. Have is a hope of winning Pakistan. on the leg side, wide signal by the umpire.
Extremely well collected by the keeper once again. Rizwan is having a good time behind the stumps. It was more a cosmetic appeal than anything else. They were hoping against hope that they could have impressed the umpire and not signaling it as a wide. But to get this from Shaheen Afridi, extra pace and bounce. There's a lot of fight left in this Afghan batting lineup. Just mentioned, Nabi is a terrific order batter. And let's not forget Rashid Khan. He can turn the game on its head with his ferocious hitting.
Also the bats in different between, going for his ability to play attacking shots early on. Given the situation, team situation has taken 22 deliveries for his score. Trying to stage a comeback against Afghanistan. Technical efficiency. Whenever he was given the opportunity, he made sure that it really counts. It could be a defining innings for him today.
For Shaheen Afridi, the ball is not moving a great deal, so he wants it to be wicket to wicket. Now with a shorter ball, fuller length. Opportunity for leg before ball. Babar is fighting it out, so he wants to grind it out, which is good, but for an aggressor to be in that frame of mind and to completely put the shutters down, I think that the difficult part of this batting will be how he then gets back to his normal rhythmical batting. By instinct, he's an attacking batsman, so let's see whether he can get back to his instinctive batting style. This is an important block from him, by the way. So the 3 wickets are going down, so he's got to be steady and play sensibly, and he's done that.
Into the gap. Should be back for 2. 2. Finished the over. 7 overs gone. 18 for 3. Afghanistan.
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका नहीं, हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
Tranquility, that's what he experienced when he took Mohammad with the game cricket as well. But today it's been turbulence for top order from both sides. 18 for 3. Settle. Afghanistan changing bowling. We saw the attack. He was very intelligent. He's got the pace to trouble the Afghan batters. This spell is going to be crucial.
He never disappoints you with his strong body language, so Babar Azam needs discipline. Whether he'll provide him with discipline, I'm not too sure, but he will be aggressively targeting the stumps and looking for wickets, which is the best way to go. If you want to stifle Afghanistan and make it tough, wickets is the way to go. Even though discipline has provided them with 3 wickets, but I think Arishad is quite prepared to put in the next gear.
Great start. Is there a nick? They started to celebrate. The finger is up. Ikram Ali Khan is dismissed. The wicket of the very first delivery for Harish Rao. Afghanistan now 4 down.
Terrific catch by the keeper. The ball kept low, just a little bit low, and the left-hander got an inside edge. He was shaping up nicely, but it's just that Harish Rauf and the other Pakistani pacers are so good at moving the ball and keeping things difficult. That one reared from that good length area, cut him in half, and a very good take by the keeper. It was the perfect start for Harish Rauf. A wicket, and right and left hand combinations being removed. 18 for 4, Ikram gone for 4.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, रिहाई, लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
आपस की गर्मा गर्मी अपनी जगह, जो खुशी से हाथ से रहमत के पत्तों जो खाने पर from the house of Afghanistan, जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस, जीरे का जायका हमारी बातों से खासता जीरा प्लस। जीरे का जायका हमारी बातों से खासता जीरा प्लस।
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, रिहाई, लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
From the house of Afghanistan.
Is coming back in to the right hander. Skill and control from Harish Rao.
That's a seriously pacey delivery, 147 clicks. It was a difficult one for the left-hander, jumping up, losing his balance. Very good catch by Rizwan. Afghanistan in desperate need of a partnership. Mohammad Nabi by nature is an attacking batsman, so he's got to follow his instincts here.
Interesting life story. Harish Rao and Rahul Pindi going to Peshawar got selected. It's because of 2 deliveries that he bowled in the practice sessions.
Around the stumps to the left-hander, nice seam position. Came back strongly, hit the batter to jump because he's quick. And then when it was on its way down, Rizwan picked it up cleanly.
And this bowling went back, its control, accuracy when it comes to hitting the areas from round the wicket from over the stumps, the lines that he bowls, pace that he operates with, will trouble the best of the batting units. That's what he's shown today already, taking wicket at the very first delivery of the spell. Full. Continuing to impress with spin 145 and some made impression in spin. The fast bowlers have been up to the mark for Pakistan. The strength, widening strength for both sides.
What Babar Azam has done so well as a skipper is that he's got this thing focused on winning. He doesn't allow them any relaxed period. It's always about being switched on.
Great delivery to finish the over. Wicket making. 8 overs gone, 18 for 4 Afghanistan.
Your attitude, Darren Sun, my Afgvspak.
They are head and shoulders जो जब तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए। Head and shoulders कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस, जीरे का जायका हमारी बातों से खासता जीरा प्लस।
Afghanistan are off to a disastrous start, 18 for 4, but Pakistan also lost 2 wickets early, 40 for 3 at this stage after 8 overs. That's it. Someone like to quote it to sim on that. Shape away.
That's such a good line from Naseem Shah. And he'll keep on bowling there with good pace. It's the other thing that can happen to the track. If you take that grass off, the ball may just stick into it second time around. That is exactly what is happening right now. What you've got to do is to fall back on good technique. Make sure that you're not troubled by the balls that are beating you. Edge, and that slip fielder is just a little too deep for my liking. Salman Ali Agha has got good hands, but it's just that your position is determined by the keeper, and keeper, for my liking, is deep. It's not a quick pitch. Doesn't have a lot of grass, and even when he picked up that catch, Rizwan, it was a low catch. He should have been in by about a yard.
Seeing the delivery, also that mentality was he's an explosive batsman, getting into shell and then coming back. Down the track, he threads it through the offside. Runs here for Gurbaz.
And that's the instinctive Gurbaz that we know is looking to attack, be aggressive. But the problem is that if he gets out playing a shot like this, he'll be absolutely taken to the cleaners in the dugout, because he's the last hope as a frontline batter. What he has to do is to take calculated risks. Make sure that there is some rotation of strike. I think that is the other thing that's been missing from this challenge, from this contest.
Strikes in front, finger is up. Gurbaz goes for it. 5 wickets down for 20, Afghanistan. Naseem Shah removes Gurbaz.
By the director, now we play DP for LBW. On-field decision is out. I take the front foot and it's a fair delivery. Let's start with frontal camera first, please. Ball appears to me that the pitch passes back. Can I have authorized to confirm? There's a clear gap between the bat and ball. Satisfied? No bat involved. Can I have ball tracking whenever it is ready, please? Pitching outside off. Impact in line. Wickets missing. Nitin, I recommend you to change your decision. I'll let you know whenever the ball is spin. Yes, now.
Good review from Gurbaz. Missing the stumps. He survives.
That was pretty crafty from Naseem Shah, because he was giving him that off-stump line, off-stump angle, and then he got that one back into the stumps and almost got the better of the batsman. It's probably the last-minute call from Gurbaz. I think he's probably half walking when he decided to go for the DRS. But whatever it was, it did work in his favour.
I think presence of Nabi helped him in getting stuck there, making the decision of going for the review. Helpful for Afghanistan. 2 slips in. This time much better. It is a defensive stroke.
That's a replay. Nabi there asking him to take the DRS, actually force him into that decision. And he sort of felt that it was missing the stumps going down the leg side, Nabi. Going over the stumps. Impact was in line, but it just had more bounce.
On the track, wants a run. This has been great over. 9 overs bowled, 21 for 4, Afghanistan.
ट्राई पेंटिंग, जिसमें है प्रोवी फॉर्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉल्व करो विद पेंटिंग।
For Afghanistan batters with the technique and capabilities, Ibrahim, Rahmat, Hashmat, Vikram not contributing much. These are the 3 batters out for not. 21 for 4. Still some potential in batting department. 2 all-rounders to come.
It is relentless pressure from both ends. Good pace, quality fast bowling. And these bowlers expose any technical deficiency. That is high speed 146 and he casually bowls it. And it's not that the others are slow. Others are pretty decent paced. It's like playing the West Indian fast bowlers of the 80s. They were up in the 150 mark, all of them. But to get this luxury in the first 10 overs is priceless.
That's a long watch for giving the delivery of it. So what was the key, Ramesh? Because you've been around the scene that time around, facing the fast bowlers who operate at 150, especially from Afghanistan perspective, because these batters haven't faced these kind of bowlers, skillful bowlers at good pace.
Got to look at it as a challenge and as an opportunity as well, because if you score runs against such quality battery pace, then you can make the headlines. So Gurbaz has got to be looking at that option, at that challenge. Even that shot, which is a decent block, will give him confidence, because that's 148, 149 clicks, that ball. The wicket maiden over from Haris. First ball got behind, and then the ball kept on shaking in and out. And he can bowl that fuller length also because it's quick, so your bat doesn't come the way you want it, because it hits the bat in fact. That ball, it is bowled at that 150 clicks, and that's the difference.
There's confusion on that occasion. So, bowlers of Pakistan's quality, because they have blown away many oppositions, including India in the T20 World Cup. What's the way forward for Afghan top order batters in this series, plus Asia Cup and World Cup coming up?
Got to be good against the short ball. I think what happens is that with that kind of pace, you're a little circumspect with your feet movement, and you're expecting when the ball will be on the shorter side, you may not be able to handle it. So practice against the short ball, and then be ready for the full length delivery also. Fast bowler will test you out on these 2 lengths mostly. So if you're given the impression that you're the courageous one, the brave heart, then he'll not try to bounce you out. And obviously the third and the most regular angle is the good length outside the off-stump angle. But overall, Afghanistan batsmen have got to be better against the short ball. Look for that pull shot, the hook shot. It's fine getting out, no problem. But the attempt has got to be just a little bit more solid.
Played at it, beaten maiden again. 10 overs gone, 21 for 4 Afghanistan.
Rap also need to start. जीरे का जायका लिए, हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
That's the end of the first power play. Now captain will have the luxury of spreading the field, but will he do it? The bowling has been top class. Fast bowlers continuing to execute the right areas, and they've been rewarded with 4 wickets as well. Afghanistan, historically known as attacking side. Top order batters or openers trying to go for the counter-attacking option. But this is a major challenge. The bowling speeds.
Pakistan paces speed. That's the average speed, by the way. The quicker ball has been really touching 150. I'm talking about Haris Rauf. Shaheen has been in mid-140s. Naseem Shah regularly over 142. Just about the ideal pace to seam and swing the ball also. It's not express from Naseem Shah. Just about the right quality pace to move the ball sideways.
That's what conditions enable. Humidity, also the type of wicket they're playing on. Will not quite rushing through. Faster ball on a different wicket. The batters can go with different options, maybe playing more shots. Smarter.
Such a good ball, altered the length. It took off from that good length area, and that's not a bad ball to bowl to Nabi, because he's not a great player of the full shot. Likes the spin bowling more than pace bowling. It's just that he's smart at 21, Naseem Shah. Really challenges your skill.
First on the scene at the tender age of 16, making big impression on the tour to Australia. Shot again. Quick and quick. It was only 139 though.
Yeah, that's the link to bowl to Nabi. Gurbaz will reassure him. It's about staying the course. The required rate is not a huge one. 4.5 runs per over, and Pakistan would want that required run rate to get a little bit more taxing for Afghanistan. This, by the way, is Pakistan's best performance with the ball in first 10 overs since 2017. And they had Sri Lanka reduced to 39 for 5 at Sharjah. Just the perfect start for Pakistan to box Afghanistan. Shot fine, 45 fielders in. They're going to let Nabi know that they're after his head.
Outswinger into the gap. Runs here for Afghanistan and Nabi.
He's got loads of experience. What he has to do is to somehow manage this spell of bowling. Naseem Shah is not going to go forever into his 5th over, so probably bowl another over before we see leg spin of Shadab or Osama Mir. Plenty of balls since last boundary was hit. Afghanistan need solid temperament to weather the storm. This is a great opportunity for them to get better of Pakistan.
Straight bat. Another fine over from Naseem. 11 overs bowled, 23 for 4.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल कतर का एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
Afghanistan trying to restructure the innings, trying to build a partnership. Come out of this situation, Gurbaz, 56 deliveries for his 9, Nabi 2 of 11. This is the player, has to take the responsibility, build a partnership, get deep into the innings.
Square leg spin posted. Expect a short ball. Couple of slips in place as well. So it's a tough one here for Gurbaz, because he must not get out. So that's the pressure that he must be having. There's that square leg fielder, the edge of the screen, and then you've got 2 slips with that outside edge. Idea is to wrong foot him. Idea is to make his footwork all scrambled.
To get more runs here. Pull back.
Pakistan have looked very sharp in the field. This was a good effort. I think it was Imad who ran after that, stopped a 4. Check the boundary. Well, it was a clean stop. I think it was. Afgvspak helping him out with a throwback.
When from the boundary comes in, Gurbaz is a compulsory hooker. A man from boundary coming inside the circle. This big wicket. In position 2-6 there. Second distance. Done here for Nabi. That is the modus operandi from Iran. Strike rotation.
Singles are of great value when you're asked to go at 5 and over. What he has to do is to keep on working and talk to himself. It's important that he goes till the end, Gurbaz.
Pull again.
91.8 miles per hour. That's a seriously quick ball, that. And it's pitched up and it is within the stumps. So a batsman can't miss that line. There's no second line of defense when you're gearing up to play that kind of pace.
Choose the call. Runs the first run hard. They will complete.
This is good batting, sensible batting. Just work the ball into the gaps, not take any risks. .143 is slowest one, 145.8 is fastest. It's about 90 miles an hour every delivery, and that's serious pace. It's lovely to see. In this day and age, the fast bowlers really don't bowl that fast, but with Pakistan you can expect this raw pace. No slow balls, no slow bounces. It's hard stuff.
Eaton is there. Mild appeal from Itka in the slip region. Babar is contemplating.
He's thinking, what is it going to be? I think DRS timer. Yeah, it shows not so. It's 29 for 4.
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों सा खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
Well, pace is Pakistan's strength, and that's what they've been able to execute. Fast bowlers in operation, skillful bowling, opening the pace of the bat at the last moment. That might have saved him. Oh, was there a nick? Well, well, well. Babar was contemplating.
He was the man in charge, didn't go for DRS. This will hurt Pakistan. They saw it on the big screen, the ultra edge showing a reflection. And Afghanistan should be more at home now, playing spin.
And particularly Gurbaz, because he likes to attack the spinners. Samamir at age of 27. Actually, in googly as well. What it googly?
Yeah, he's blossomed of late. Been picked by a few leagues and now bowls with a lot of confidence. Tall, so he gets a good natural loop. Hits it to spin also. And because he's tall, it's difficult to pick up his length straight away. It's a little bit of time to adjust to his kind of bowling and style. So there you see extravagant spin.
Turn and bounce, the typical Shane 1 delivery. Pull. Driving it down the ground. Gurbaz has the reputation of attacking the spinners straight away. But it's been different kind of innings from him. Not going to be easy. Plus, he has to get into the breeze. Or against the breeze, so it's a massive challenge. For a batsman who spent considerable amount of time at the crease, but taking off again. Turned away, bring it from the crease. The skillful bowler. Different types of bowlers. The Afghans are quick, accurate, using those fingers to push the ball through. The experience of playing tennis ball cricket, tape ball cricket particularly. Slow through the air. Very different.
I don't like this strategy from Pakistan, keeping long off and long on for a pair that has generally struggled to provide any rhythm. But they hit over the top. I think it's a kind of a common plan these days from Pakistan, just to push everyone back at long on and log off. Quicker through the air this time. We'll always get the ball to bounce. Right after 13 overs, 4 down for 33, we'll have drinks.
Rapper from the house of Hindustan.
Your attitude. Darren Sami, my pastor Ali.
The ultimate cricketing showdown in Asia is back. The most anticipated clash of the event is here. The big guns from Asia are here to compete for the glory. This is the Asia Cup, the tournament that will have you on the edge of your seats. Don't miss it.
Shot that is amazing shot.
Speaking from the personal experience.
It shows.
And the Afghanistan Shiriach, while on the field there's been fire, you want that Shiriach, which is a very tasty milk, flavorings and sugar mixed in a container.
Then you've got a great variety of fruits as well. Melon, watermelon, pomegranate. That's into the gap. Runs. Humbling effort by Fakhr Zaman, 2 runs.
Absolutely, the fruits in the region have been of a great taste. Pomegranate, you said, are of amazing taste, really sweet, and so are the melon towards the north of Afghanistan. Apples towards the south, Logar, in Char, they are of a great taste. Oh yeah, I mean, we are blessed with the region, the fact that we get to enjoy really, really good fruits.
They say that Babar, who was the Mughal emperor, didn't like the fruits of subcontinent, and so he wanted to go back, and he did, because he's missing his melons and pomegranate.
And we have the Babar tomb in Kabul, and it's such a beautiful place over there, the way they have built it. Lots of trees, beautiful place for families to come and enjoy their time on the weekends.
Strong appeal and given by the umpire. Will he go for another DRS? Everyone looks super confident that there's an outside edge. Gurbaz, what is he thinking? He's asking his partner whether to go for DRS or not. Beautifully bowled by the pacer, and he's a goner. No shame in getting out to a ball like this. It was a superb delivery. He was forced to play at that line, and just a hint of outswinger, and he was taken by the keeper.
Well, he stayed there, but this was a peach of a delivery. You could do nothing about it. He survived a chance when he was on 14. He nicked it to the keeper. And that's a wise call, because you know as a batter if you have Ezri or not, and he does the right thing. Haris Rauf finally gets the wicket, and he'll feel very happy and pumped up, because you really feel it when you miss the wicket and you just say, wish we had gotten the DRS review. But finally Rahmanullah Gurbaz, after a very careful and kind of stabilizing innings, departs for 18. Afghanistan in all sorts of trouble, 35 for 5.
got to be better than that. Umar Zaid beaten all ends up. And this was very much on the cards. Pakistan banking on the strength of pace and denting the top order. Whereas Afghanistan were keen to produce a pitch that will help their spinners, and they demolished Pakistan through spin. So this is quite an intriguing contest. On the same pitch, it's Pakistan's pacers have been outstanding. And on the same pitch earlier on, it was Afghanistan's brilliance in the spin department that bamboozled Pakistan. Two extremes, but both working for both sides.
I think I'll give the credit to the curator, because when I talked to him earlier, he said that this is a fair wicket which will help the pacers as well as the spinners, knowing that Afghanistan's strength is the spinners. Take nothing away from the pace of Pakistan. Pakistan is known for their pace forever. I mean, think about Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, Imran Khan, and Asif, so many. It's so nice and such a joy to see them firing that scintillating pace.
Well, he's been outstanding. 2 for 8, 3.5 overs. Into the gap in 4 runs. That's nicely timed. Slicing it past that man at cover and point. Spoils his last ball, but it's still fabulous figures for Harish. Now 2 for 12. It's 39 for 5.
ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स जो जड़ तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस न आए. हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कंधे से बोझ हटा दे.
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला. बिहारी, लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का. एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया.
It's turning out to be a low-scoring contest. 201 plays 39 for 5. This is still a manageable or doable job if they bat well right till the end. 163 of 36 overs. It's not a Herculean task, but 5 wickets down, you've got a side with Pakistan. Required run rate is 4.52. It's not humongous. It's just that follow wickets and quality of bowling is making it tough for Afghanistan.
Absolutely, they need to stick there and build a partnership the way Pakistan did. It was Imamul Haq who took the responsibility for Pakistan, and then later in the innings, Shadab, together with Naseem Shah towards the end, put those crucial runs on the board. And that's what is required for Afghanistan at the same time as well to do. This is a recognized player. I mean, maybe this is the last recognized player out in the middle. Azmatullah Umar Zaid, when he came in the under-19 and he played an innings of brilliance against New Zealand, making sure that Afghanistan qualifies to the next level. After that, he really hadn't done much. But then in the recent Bangladesh series, he got his maiden 50. So he's been kind of batting and bowling all-rounder for Afghanistan, and he's been finding now the momentum to be able to play as a batter in the Afghanistan side that Afghanistan needs. But this is the defining moment. You take your team out of trouble and your name will be on the record books, and you say, yes, that was the man who could save Afghanistan from here.
He's got to find the good length. Osama Mir. He's got a power to introduce him before Shadab. Could have given him a bit of confidence. Just relaxing him a little bit. It's always tough when you're wearing green colors of Pakistan. There's so much of competition and so much expectations of you. What he has to do is to take it easy and relax a little bit, Osama. That's not a good ball. That'll go away for 4. It's a half-tracker that's been tracked towards the fence.
It's kind of day when you struggle finding your rhythm in line and length. How I've seen Osama Mir bowl so far, he tried to also throw a bait and ask Nabi, for instance, to go after him and hit the shots, but that was too short. And Azmatullah Omarzai cashes this. This is really brilliant batting because you do not fall under the pressure of having lost 5 wickets. If you find a loose delivery, you cash it on and you get the boundary for yourself.
Easily managed to mid off. Good over for Afghanistan. After 15, 5 down for 47 Afghanistan.
जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
We've been treated to an exhibition of fast bowling here. Haris Ralph, Nasim Shah and Shaheen Afridi, the very best, right out the top draw. Consideration for a second slip going in here. Ralph has got it.
I was looking for that word exhibition, indeed it is, and what a show. The Afghanistan batters have not just been able to find answers.
Nicely played, controlled. Yeah, honestly, I feel a little bit for Afghanistan is that the more they play against this type of opposition, the better they will get, because there's such a talented group of players, this particular team, but there's still room for growth. For so long they've been given games against just certain teams, Zimbabwe, Ireland, and they've played them over and over again. Now we're starting to see them being exposed to more and more. They play against Bangladesh once or twice, now they beat Bangladesh. Now they get a first bilateral series against Pakistan. These guys, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between 138 kilometers an hour and 145 kilometers an hour. And these 3 Pakistan bowlers are genuine quick bowlers, and you need to play against them to get accustomed to it.
Well, that's the only way. You said it exactly right, but you can see in the dugout that the Afghanistan side may just feel that they did the first spot right. They were able to get Pakistan bowled out, and it's a very manageable and chaseable total of only 202 runs. But another very soft dismissal. Haris Rauf's been on fire. He gets the wicket off Mohammad Nabi, and Afghanistan are in all sorts of trouble.
Well, the pitch is a slow one. We've said that the ball is stuck in the wicket quite often throughout the day and the evening, and this one just holds a little bit. Haris Rauf is an out-and-out quick bowler, but just stops ever so slightly, which leads to Mohammad Nabi hitting that in the air. Simple catch, really. Sometimes you bowl cracking deliveries, other times it's just an ordinary delivery like that, which leads to a wicket. He deserves the success that he's got this evening, Haris Rauf. Mohammad Nabi goes for 7, Afghanistan 48 for 6.
डैंड्रफ का डर हमेशा सर पे सवार है।
ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स जो जड़ तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए। हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
But here's a man who will never give up a cause. Rashid Khan, brilliant with the ball this evening. 2 for him. Dangerous batter. Many feel he's been underutilised. Now batting at number 8 in various leagues, and 9 and 10. But he too will have not seen a lot of this quick bowling when you're 48 for 6.
It is just too much to ask for. And look at the dismissal just once again. The ball stopping on Mohammad. And he wanted to drive it away from the fielder. And there are bad days that the ball just goes straight into the hand of the fielder. And you can see it from the celebration because they know how vital the wicket of Mohammad Nabi was for Pakistan to be able to secure a win for themselves here. But you're spot on, HD. The more Afghanistan plays against such teams, the better they'll get.
All over. Didn't take long for Haris Ralph to knock over the off stump of Rashid Khan.
That's absolutely too good for Rashid Khan. That space that talks, and you do not have the answer for that. Haris Ralph has been on fire. He's got 4 for, and look at this. No clue, no answer from Rashid Khan. Just passes through and dislodges the bail. What a sight for the fast bowler. And he celebrates this. Jubilant Pakistan side. They can sense the victory from here.
And again, there was just a puff of dust, wasn't there? When the ball hit the ground, there was just a puff of dust. But Rashid Khan goes without scoring. Afghanistan, well, they're nearly done for here, 48 for 7.
ट्राई पेंटी जिसमें है प्रोवी फार्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉल्व करो विद पेंटी।
Rahman, the all-rounder. It's his second one-day international match, and he's having to deal with Haris Ralph, who is steaming him. And again, that's what pace does. It makes you push at things that you wouldn't normally do. The end of the 16th, 48 for 7.
ट्राई पेंटी जिसमें है प्रोवी फार्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉल्व करो विद पेंटी।
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों सा खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
आपस की गर्मा गर्मी अपनी जगह
और शुरू से वापसी दे रहबर के हॉट पॉट जो खाने पर रखे देर तक कर। रहबर फ्रॉम द हाउस ऑफ ईगल स्टार।
Always felt that 202 was needed for victory was going to be a challenging title because the surface hasn't been an easy one to bat on and not an easy one to score on. There hasn't been big seam movement, but there's been indifferent pace and there's certainly been some turn for the spin. But this is Rashid Khan being done by pace here. It goes past the outside edge, there's a little bit of seam movement, it just holds its line. But that's a good delivery to get second up.
That tells you what craftsmen the Pakistan Pacers been. Just a little bit of movement, but that is enough to be able to distract the batsman and get the better of him.
Oh yeah, ये ना ये लगा, शाबाश शाबाश शाबाश।
He's off the mark. That'll make him feel comfortable.
I actually feel for Abdur Rahman when he made his debut against Bangladesh. It was the third game. The 2 games earlier Afghanistan had won, and they had really comprehensively won those 2 games. He comes and makes debut in the 3rd game, and then he finds himself in the bother, and he's put into a situation where he's expected to runs. He's a good batter. He's got some half centuries back in the domestic cricket in Afghanistan, but that's too much to ask for.
so frightened to talk up this young man because I was talking up Rashid Khan as a prospective sort of all-rounder, and he got his off-stump knocked over. I think this fella's a good all-rounder as well. Well, there we go. I told you he is.
Well, he appreciates the compliment and hits a beautiful shot. With this boundary, it's the end of the over. Afghanistan are 54 for 7.
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों सा खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
It's only 54 on the board, chasing 202 in this very first Afghanistan versus Pakistan ODI Series 2023 is a huge task. The only hope for Afghanistan is Azmatullah Omarzai, while for Pakistan, they have been all over Afghanistan, haven't let Afghanistan breathe.
So that last delivery of the previous over, Omarzai slapped it down the ground, but I think he's done an intercostal muscle in the process. He was very uncomfortable. He called the physio on the ground, and as a bowler, the one thing you don't want to do is an intercostal muscle. This is weeks and weeks of rehabilitation, and with an Asia Cup and a World Cup just around the corner, this will not be good news for Afghanistan, but in particular, Azmatullah Omarzai.
If there were anything missing in this, it has been the injury to Azmatullah Omarzai. The only hope, and he finds himself into the spot of bother and believes he cannot continue, and he gets retired hurt. That is not a good news for Afghanistan.
It actually looked a little bit like it was an injury that occurred while he was bowling, because it seemed as though everyone was aware that he was nursing that side, and then that stroke down the ground might have just aggravated it, and he immediately turned to face the dugout and said, "I'm done here." It's a pity. He's a lovely cricketer, Azmatullah, he really is, and he's going to be a big loss if it is a serious injury, particularly if it's an intercostal.
Well, at least what Afghanistan fans can hope for is a few good shots from Mujib Zadran. Funny thing is, few of his mates call him the Chris Gale during the practice matches. He can hit a few. At least some for the entertainment.
There's a thing about it. Practice match for dying is that there is the consequence. So you can swing as hard as you want.
Absolutely, that's the dire fact. One bad shot and you get out.
Well short. Didn't even bother running, so it looks like Uncle Rahman is going to be the man that's going to try and take as much of the strike as possible. And that's also a big ask of a man playing just his second one-day international to try and farm the strike against an attack like this.
I was telling you earlier that I really feel for it because it's his second game only, and he's both the times been in a situation where he's just not enjoyed for the top order having put some run where he could bowl and try and express himself, because he is a genuine pace bowler for Afghanistan, but at the same time he's a good batter. But then you cannot just expect too much of him. It's a lot. Under 16, Afghanistan has already lost 7 wickets.
Not in control. It'll fall short to the man at fine leg. Naris Ralph for a brief moment thought he had 5. drop to his knees.
He absolutely deserves this. He's really, really bowled well. He's bowled some peach of the deliveries. He's created those breakthroughs in wickets, particularly the one of Rahmanullah Gurbaz. He just didn't have the answer for, and you can tell he really wants that fifer. It's a milestone. Any bowler, any day will want to take the fifer, and it is on the cards. He's got another 4 overs after that, and he certainly can.
Question for Harris Ralph is how many more can he bowl? It's still very steamy out there, and the one thing that Babar Azam won't want to do is over bowl his bowlers. And when I say over bowl, I'm talking about long spells in this type of heat, because they don't want to have any injuries coming their way. I've spoken already about the Asia Cup, the World Cup, and our concern for Azmatullah. Every single captain, every selector, every administrator will be worried over this period as teams go through their warm-ups, that there's no injuries with such a big few months ahead.
Well, eyeing the prize to try and get your fifer, he might push the captain. Okay, I got one more maybe. On this loud appeal from Mohammad Rizwan, asking for the umpire to give the decision in his favour. Babar Azam goes for the review, and they do the right thing. So we'll have to see what the decision is.
TV umpire to director, we have the player review for caught behind. On-field decision is not out. I've checked the front foot. It's a fair delivery. Let's start with front on camera first, please. Bowler appears to be missing the bat. Can I have advice to confirm if there is any bat involved? Yeah, just roll back and roll it again. Keep rolling. Yeah, flat line, and I can see a clear gap between the bat and ball. Satisfied? There's no bat involved. Durrani, stay with your not out decision. Make the signal now. You're on screen.
A good decision must be the old. Interesting that Mujib actually indicated that the sound came from his handle as he just shook the bat when the Pakistan players asked him, did you nick it? But they were definitely going to go upstairs, weren't they? Particularly after they missed out against Rahmanullah Gurbaz earlier. And that's a better length, I feel, for Osama Mir. I think he's been a little bit too full. Shadab, Shadab's into the attack. No wonder, it's good length. Right on the money.
You see the quality and you right away say it. That's what we want from the leg spinner to bowl onto the areas. Well, Osama Mir will get there. He's a really promising prospect for Pakistan, but Shadab Khan, he's been the man. And in today's game, other than his phenomenal batting performance, the catch that he took off Hashmatullah Shahidi's hook shot, Naseem Shah, I mean, it was amazing. And it will be very, very difficult for the tail-enders to deal and handle a bowler of the caliber of Shadab Khan. There you go. Very little clue about the ball, where it's coming. Is it googly? Is it leg spin? At what pace it is coming? So difficult to read.
I just feel he's got the length right. I think Osama was a little bit too full. You think of the length that Mujib bowled. It was good length, maybe just shortish of a good length. That is unsure whether to play forward or back. Here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity. This should be the 8th wicket, and is. Shadab in on the action early on.
And that's what the smart bowlers do. They read the mind of the batter. They know what the batters are thinking. They give him the ball. They throw the bait. The finer the bait, the shorter the weight. And there you go. He didn't have the clue. He wants to heave this towards the leg side, but gets the top edge in the process. Pakvsafg wanted to call for it, and he does, and he holds to it comfortably. He's a good fielder. Shadab Khan delighted after getting the wicket in his very first over. Afghanistan are nowhere. It's 55 for 8.
ट्राई पेंटिंग, जिसमें है प्रोवी फॉर्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉल्व करो विद पेंटिंग।
From the house of Afgvspak.
Your attitude, Darren Sami, my Asper Ali.
He's the last man in for Afghanistan. The scorecard reads 55 for 8, but this will be the last man. As Azam will not come back to the wicket. We've had news that that injury is going to be monitored. It's the final delivery of the Shadab Khan over. He already has a wicket next to his name. No, a maiden wicket, 55 for 8. Pakistan would have felt that they were short with just 201, but they've come out scrapping. Their fast bowlers have been absolutely magnificent, and they've left Afghanistan reeling here at 55 for 8. Here's Haris Rauf looking for 5. Oh, what a stroke that is for 4 from Mujib.
Are you kidding me? Some respect. This man has got 4 wickets. And Mujib Zadran is telling you, he's going to swing his bat, and he rightly does, and he gets the boundary to open his account with. Look at that full ball, and he smashes this straight down to the boundary for 4.
I don't think he's going to play any other way, Mujib. I think he's going to look to finish with a flourish, yeah? Normally fast bowlers don't take too kindly to being hit straight back down the ground. Chance. This should end it. And that is that. 5 wickets for Haris Rauf. And Pakistan have won by 143 runs. That is an exceptional performance from a very talented fast bowling attack.
Well, he gets his 5 up for the first time, and this is his best figure. Also against Afghanistan, 5 for 18. And what a show this has been. He was bowling fire. Genuine pace. And he's getting the hugs from his teammates and everybody cheering for him. It's such a wonderful moment for the bowlers to get the 5 means everything. And once again, he believes in his strength, gives the link ball. Mujib swings at it, nowhere. All it does is gives a simple catch to Naseem Shah.
ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स जो जब तक जाए ताकि डैंड्रफ वापस ना आए. हेड एंड शोल्डर्स कंधे से बोझ हटा दे.
जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस.
ट्राई पेंटिंग, जिसमें है प्रोवी फॉर्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉल्व करो विद पेंटिंग।
जीरा प्लस चाय के साथ पेश करके तो देखो, फिर देखो कैसे सालों का फासला एक सुर में मिट जाता है। यही है गुफ्तगू का प्लस। जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस।
आज होगा टक्कर का मुकाबला, बिहारी लड़ाई और तेल का तड़का। एरियल का नया ब्लू फॉर्मूला जिद्दी दागों का करे सफाया।
जीरे का जायका लिए हमारी बातों से खस्ता जीरा प्लस। Rapper from the house of Afgvspak.
With your attitude, Darren Sami might ask for Ali.
It is also the best in Afghanistan ODIs. The handshake.
The match played in good spirits, as I'm sure this entire series will be. Yes, it's an important series, the first bilateral series between these two teams, but everyone is gearing up for what's going to be happening in the next few weeks. The Asia Cup and then the World Cup. But tonight belongs to Haris Rauf, his first FIFA in one-day internationals, I'm sure a first of many. He had his tail up today, he bowled with real pace, he bowled with great skill, and he was the leader of this three-pronged attack. Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Nasim Shah, they were impressive as well.
Started with Shaheen Shah Afridi. They say if he can't get you the wicket in the first over, he certainly will get it in the second, and he does. He gets 2 wickets in the second over, the third of the innings, and after that Nasim Shah, and then it's been Haris Rauf, including Shadab Khan, everyone among the wickets. Afghanistan did not have any answers whatsoever at all, bundling up for only 59 in the chase of 202 that Pakistan put.
Shaheen Shah Afridi started things off 2 for 9 in his 4 overs. Nasim Shah supported him brilliantly. Shadab and Usama, they had a little run out, but the evening belongs to Haris Rauf. 5 for 18 in 6.2 overs. Pakistan won the toss and decided to bat first. 201 all out inside 50 overs. They'll feel that they were well short, but yes, it was a tough surface to bat on. It was a little bit on the slow side. Mujib was fantastic. 3 for 33. In reply, Pakistan needed to be good with the ball, and my were they. Sensational. Bowling Afghanistan out for 59. Haris Rauf 5 for 18. Morne Morkel, next South African international, just congratulating Haris Rauf on his performance. I'm sure he's had a lot to do with the skill that man has developed. Right, we're off to a break, and when we come back, the post-match presentation.